Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to present to you MrBin and it is presented by the team that is Java. Some facts regarding our country includes that the plastic consumption in urban areas have tripled in the last 15 years. A large part of the wastes are dumped in water bodies and rivers. Only a handful amount, close to 40% of the plastic waste are being recycled, and it's due to the fact that there is no convenient platform to connect urban households with recyclers. So what can we do? We figured out the shortcomings of the current infrastructure and came along with a solution to create a platform for connecting people and make the recycling and donation process easier. So our solution is MrBin, which is an e-platform for users, recyclers, and organizations. Basic project summary of the project includes having a marketplace, a separate panel for recycling, a separate panel for donation, and our project includes special features like object detection and role-based authentication for every type of user. Our project creates a huge impact in our society by fulfilling the ESG principles along with wastage and pollution reduction, revenue generation, and creating employable opportunities. Our target users for the project are urban household users, recycling companies, NGOs, and humanitarian organizations. The structure of the project includes outreach, marketplace, recycling, donation, order, AI. Then we try to segregate the user management system. I'll just go through. Then there's the admin section which verifies your before. There's a marketplace section which adds a direct advertisement, check product details, etc. There's a recycling section where a recycler can contact the user based on the product. There's a donation section. There's an AI integrated section for object detection where TensorFlow uses to detect object. It also suggests user the category where he or she can sell the product. There's a system which suggests a price to the user. Thank you, that's fine. So this is the landing page of MrBin, where a user can go to the home page, marketplace page, where he or she can see the list of products, recycle page to recycle the item, donation page, AI page for object detection. There's a plus product for investing in the product and you can choose the type of product. There is a separate login and sign up page. So now the user management section. Here in MrBin, a user can register his or her name, right? And then we also need to sign in. If a user gets signed in, we see these icons in the header section. Here, when a user is logged in, he or she can go into his or her dashboard and see through his profile, orders, products, edit profile, and the privileges. In the privilege section, a user can opt to join as a recycler or an organization. Here, we thought of it like like in this manner that uh, recycler or organization is a privileged member as they are both companies. So, in order for a user to be a recycler organization, he or she needs to represent that company or something similar like that. So when a user asks for being a recycler, for example, if I press this, and user should have and a recycler should have a specific phone number, it sends an approval request for the admin to review. Here in our project, the admin part or the admin role is given as a hard-coded one. For example, Rocky Momentum Man has an admin privilege. So when he or she signs in, you see that there is a specific admin dashboard for him or her, where the admin can go through all the user lists if he or she wants to delete them, all the product lists, all the request lists that we get. For example, I just pressed Kazi for the recycle rule, and you can see that an admin can approve or reject this. There is also the list of recyclers, and there is also the list of organizations up for donation. So here I'm gonna approve Kazi. So here goes another of our features that a user can join as an organization event. So in the edit profile, if I put an image here and submit, the profile will be edited like this. In the previous section, let's for now encourage or add Fahad as an organization. For example, Bika or any other NGO. Maybe a location can be Tata, and let's just give away a random for now and send approval request. Now again back to Rocky or the admin, you can see that here she gets and he gets a request from Fahad to be an organization or a recycler. You're supposed to do that. So admin can approve for both the sections and then check through the code. And the respected user will get some special features with it. Now we are going to create a new user in Chakra. There is a front-end validation for the password as well. Like if you put something and if it doesn't match, there is an alert shown over here saying enter a valid password first. If the password is too simple, it's going to show the same thing. If the passwords are alright, but if it doesn't match, it's going to say password is not showing. And if it does even match, then it's going to create a user. So here I can let's just sign in using that, and there is my user dashboard. So for a default user, we see that there are no views for the recycle and organization section. It's because those sections are specifically entitled for recycle and organization. Our user only gets access to here, and now we're going to create a product for a user. As for example, I want to sell my laptop, which is Asus and the laptop. 2021, that I don't mean it's used to 2 years, the purchase price was this, asking price is this, as well as I remember, it is from 30 it should be placed in the marketplace of the recycler donation because I believe there is some value to it. So I'm going to write it over here, the left trade to I'm just adding a friendly. Let me put the plus sign on application, the need to check the images area about it. There's a lot of image. Here I can add multiple images I want. So for now I'm just gonna add one image. When I successfully place it, I can see it in the render page. There might be a bit time delay because here we're using the image and passing it to and storing it in an object storage, which is held in cloud memory server. And now we can see that we get the image back. And here is the Asus and the clip and the product use page. So now we are going to add a product that needs to be recycled. For example, let's just recycle my laptop again. And this time I'm gonna add another image of it. Let's just add this. But the fact that I'm using it in recycle, I need all the things over here. That's this one, that's a company, that's you, purchase price, that's the price, 50,000. I think that's this, 2, 4, 2. What else we left it? Alright, so when I add this project, we won't be able to see the marketplace as we look at the recycle page, but I won't be able to see it over here as well. I can see it from here that I added the product I find, right, as is laptop. And here's the description. These are my products, so I can only see them in my products, but I won't be able to see them in the recycle product. Only the recycler will be able to see them. Similarly, let's add something for donation. For example, I'm gonna donate my house for a different. Just one number. Same goes for here. Our product is successfully added, but it's not gonna be showed in donation as a gift. Only an organization that's up for accepting the donation can see them. And you can always see the list of products from here that it's updated. Now if you sign in as Jaffer again, you can see that when the recycler press the request, he actually gets a sub request for that, and this is the price of it. He can accept it or he can reject it. It's up to his choice. If he accepts it, the product gets a buyer, that is Fahad, otherwise it doesn't. Now here we signed in as a recycler. You see that recycler can view the marketplace, but recycler has a separate UI to see the recycled objects. He or she can ask for an amount of money. For example, he can say that he can get 10k or 1000k for this, and he can send a buy request for it. Now, when you sign in as shopper, you had a product name as a generic fit. If you see it over here and press it, we won't be able to buy it as it's our product. But if you sign in as a different person, like Fahad, we can see the product, and if you want, we can send a buy request. If we send a buy request to it, Jaffer can see the order section, sell request, and you get the buy request from the marketplace from Jaffer. If he accepts it, then the product will be removed from here as well. Now, if you go back to Fahad, I don't think we're going to see it over here. Now, if you sign in as an organization, you'll see a separate panel where an organization can see the objects up for donation. The organization can request for that object to be donated to them. If we press the request button over here and we go to the user dashboard or the section inside of it, we'll see that Jaffa has a request for donation which is pending as a account. If we accept it, it's gonna get accepted. There is no price taking option. Now, if you sign in as our admin, we're gonna have a different panel for it, and we'll be able to see all the user requests, products, requests for recycle organization where these are can filter through them. But sadly, there are no requests as of now. You can see the list of recyclers, you can see the list of organizations, and everything. We also had a feature called AI integration where a user can upload an image, for example, if you upload this image, and then press the detect object button, which will pass the image to backend and return a list of objects found in the image. For example, when we pass, if you find there is a laptop, a Tupperware cup, bottle thing here, and then our system also suggests us to check the marketplace for this as the price is very high. Tupperware is suggested to go for recycling. Cups can be placed in marketplace and get a better monetary value. Then we can also sell the local in marketplace. I don't know if the permission suggests, but then we can do that also. Here our project is developed using React.js as front end, and we are using Redux for state management. You can see the product structure, you can see the project structure from here where all the components are listed in here, and all the Redux essentials are listed over here. Here you can see everything is differentiated. There's an amount section, footer, header, and everything related to it. There's an object detection, recycling, routes, etc.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Kazim Muqtadir Ahmed, and I'm gonna be explaining the backend for our MrBin project. We've opted to use the repository pattern for this project to keep our data and business layers separate. Before beginning, I quickly want to highlight our backend architecture. So this is our overview of our backend. Any request coming from the client first gets validated in the auth filter. After validation, the request then goes to the controller layer, which then passes the request to appropriate service from the service layer. We have used Cloudinary to store and serve our images. So the service layer and the client both uses Cloudinary for storing, for requesting images. Okay. The repository layer is responsible for accessing database for any queries that we're doing in our project. We've used a Python service for object detection, which itself uses a model running on the TensorFlow hub. So this is the overall architecture of our backend. Let's go to the code. So this is the general folder structure of our project. For session management, we have chosen to use Spring Security package using JWT tokens. The security folder holds all the configuration for Spring Security and also the course configuration that we needed in this project. We used a role-based authorization system in this project. The initialize role function initializes the database with the necessary database role information if they're not in the database. The service folder holds all the business logic used in this project, and the controller folder holds all the control logic that we used in this project, which also holds the endpoints that the client can request to. The model folder holds the data models that we used in our project. We've also organized the enums that we used in this project into the eStates folder inside the model folder. For file uploading, we've implemented a structure that enables us to upload a file or image directly from the client while doing all the backend validations. Let's go see the workflow for file uploading. So this is the general overview for uploading a file in this project. User can send single or multiple images from his client. For uploading an image or multiple images, the front-end client asks the backend for an upload signature. That request gets validated in the filter section of our project. A validated request then gets to the controller, which then controls the upload service. The upload service with the Cloudinary secret requests the Cloudinary client for an upload signature. The Cloudinary client then responds with an upload signature that will expire after some time. Then the upload signature is sent to the frontend. After having the upload signature, the frontend uploads the image directly to the Cloudinary client. The Cloudinary client responds with the uploaded image's URL and the public ID. The frontend then requests the backend to save this image's URL and the public ID to the database. So the request gets validated and sent to the controller, and the controller sends it to the uploader service. Uploader service then saves the image's URL to the appropriate objects in the database. In this way, the uploading the image are never actually sent to the backend and are directly uploaded from the front end. And also, we are performing all the validation that are all the validations in the backend without actually sending any large file like images or multiple images in the backend. So let's check out the Python service that we're using for object detection in our project. This is the simple Python service that we've implemented to detect object from an image. We are using Fast API to create a simple Python server. After starting, the project first loads the detector functions from a model running in the TensorFlow Hub using the TensorFlow Hub SDK. In the object detection route, we are accepting a file as an input. We are performing some pre-processing and then sending the image to the detector function that we've loaded. The detector function outputs the objects with object names from that image. We are sending those object names to the frontend as a response from this route. So that was the general overview of the object detection part in this project.